Oh, this is part two. This time when I resetted the phone, which by the way, I recommend it. If you want to buy a new phone, you don't have to buy a new phone. Or you can just reset it to factory settings. And it starts behaving like a brand new phone. It's behaving like a brand new phone. Especially if you put an anonymous emails and a good server. I mean, it's an experiment I'm making. Supposedly Proton Mail, that's the name of the email I got. ProtonMail.com or whatever. It's supposed to be an encrypted email. It's supposed to be like nobody can read it. So this is my last attempt. Otherwise, I guess I'm gonna be going to Apple because I need to buy a new iPad anyway. At one point, this one is falling apart. So I'm like hoping that they leave me alone for 2 seconds, because everything is an infraction. Like 6 YouTube channels, and they're all like one strike away from disappearing. In like 2 weeks. In like 2 weeks, I already had all these freaking strikes. This is crazy. It's a freaking witch hunt. But who am I gonna complain if they did that to the president of the United States, Donald Trump? They shut down all his accounts in all the social medias, and nobody like I say, Angela Merkel took like 2 weeks to speak up. And I say, we're so stupid. We're like, now you speak up after 2 weeks? Very few presidents. President Lopez Obrador, he spoke up immediately. He said, this is ridiculous. How are you going to censor presidents? Like I say, where's the diplomatic immunity? Don't we have treaties? Don't we have treaties that, and he don't even have he did not even have diplomatic immunity in his own land. In his own land, yeah, quote unquote, yeah. Well, that's what they say. Well, it's their land because they got the papers to prove it, even when they're bootleg. So that, and it's their laws. It's even the damn courthouses, and we still expect justice. How are we gonna get justice? It's their constitution, their judges, their lawyers, everything. I've been thinking all these people who supposedly have victories in the court system, I want to see a follow-up 5 years later, 10 years later, and see if it's true. I feel like they're just actors. The same thing with the jackpot. I don't know, unless they're crackers. But if you see somebody who's not white and they got the jackpot, well, you never see what happened to them 10 years later, 20 years later. They was freaking actors. It's like we're living in that freaking the Truman Show. That's what we're living. People they get so excited. Oh my God, you got the jackpot. It's like $600 million or whatever. Yeah, but they're not for you. And it's like the mafia, If I tell you, I have to kill you. So if you win, shit, I never bought lottery tickets. I never play those numbers. Over there in the corner of my house, the line is sometimes out in the street to play their numbers. They're mostly all, African Americans. Playing the numbers. They say that sometimes they get their ticket back. At least they get $500. So they get some of it back. My thing is going to department stores, to the clearance section and see, or to the thrift shop, the secondhand store, like this. This is 15 years old, this dress. At least 15 years old. From the thrift shop. It was less than $10. And it's designers, and it's so there's no need to spend your money. There's no need. Hey, how are you, gorgeous? Hi! I thought it was gonna say, And I have sunglasses. It was a wasp. It was a white Anglo-Saxon Christian, a wasp. No, that was a real wasp. Um, Sometimes I find myself like a zombie, like a zombie. Zombie, I know how you pronounce it, zombie. I find myself like a zombie, like, how can this be possible? How can this be happening? And so often. Like I said, he just started he gave me like 10 names. In high school, whatever, they were all abused. They was all abused and beat up and raped and everybody. All the women he ever met in his life. He came to a realization last night. So he called me this morning because his landlord woke him up at 7 in the morning saying that he forgot to put out the alarm or something. I was like, but then he started talking about all this stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, you got a car now? You spend how much money? That was supposed to, you could buy the car in Mexico or wherever you're going, Brazil, Colombia, whatever, and still have all your money. You find a decent car. Over there in Florida, I don't know. He said that he posted it on Facebook. I'm gonna check it out, I'm sure it's a nice car, but now he spent all this money and had to put the stickers and all this and all that. Now he's gonna have no money to go away. And on top of that, if he go to North Carolina, getting set up and everything, for what? To meet all these ratchets, to meet all these damaged goods that, I mean, who the hell have their daughters, I guess those have been the times. I guess I'm too old now. These little girls, dancing for him. He said, like, they were so provocative, dancing in front of me. Not only once, he said, this happened several times. They just started dancing out of nowhere in front of me. Those are the daughters of these. I wouldn't even doubt it that these bitches, they work together. I wouldn't even doubt it. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. But that's not normal. That's not normal. A lot of the girls are shy, at that age. They're not going to be coming to like a stranger, oh, and that's another thing, that they put their hands on his thighs. They put their hands in appropriate places, inappropriate places. I mean, like, that's too much. That's too much. A little girl, 12 and 15, come on. It's just too fucking much. Where they learn that shit? I always say, oh, it's my body. It's my body. Okay, do whatever the fuck you want with your body, but those babies are not your body. You gotta protect those babies. Don't take your eyes off them. Don't just leave them there like, with your neighbor. Oh, they call me, because nobody came to work. Fuck it. You'll find another job. You won't find another baby. This passing it on, this pain. Passing it on. Now you tell me that feminism is not about that? That's exactly what feminism is about. Hating your own babies, your own children. And I've seen, I get flashbacks remembering all these bitches saying like, ew, this child is like always crying, oh, I had to feed him again. Or like, they're talking about their own children as, annoying and a nuisance, whatever they got, like, yeah. And that's normal. They tell us, oh, that's normal. Or it is good that they express themselves, that they say what they're feeling. But that's not only it. Obviously, it's not only words. It's their actions. It's their actions, you know? Just how many videos are over there, you know? It's just they just leave them in the car and they go in the store. Little babies. And they get confronted, ooh, and they get like, as if they wasn't doing nothing wrong. They say, why you leave your children unattended? I just went to the store to get something. You know, they're kidnapping, you know, organ harvesting, you know, all that shit, and they still leave the damn babies like praying that somebody snatched them or something. Unbelievable. And I know that's all, you know, from slavery. I know that shit is just like, but are we gonna justify that? For how long? And now the craziest part is that all these babies, they're not growing up like we did, you know, resentful and like, you know, they have normalized it to that extent that, you know, they just see like, you know, that's life. That's life. And when they have children, they're gonna do the same. They're gonna leave the children with the neighbor, you know, with their cousin, that all she cares about hooking up and, oh, I got a hookup. And the baby, oh, just put it over there, whatever. You know, and the hookup is more interested in the baby than that ugly bitch. I mean, like, for real. It's been like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I don't even remember, and it's like, how do you unsee what you see? How you unlearn what you know? Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. You're like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm going to North Carolina. And bitches over there, they're going to be a little bit nicer. Yeah, right. This is like, you know, remember, one apple fuck up the whole box. Just one apple. Now imagine, you know, millions of rotten apples. This is not like, if that wasn't the case, then there would be a lot of outrage. There would be like, you know, oh, you know, this is too much. At least the ones that are my age, because I'm sure they remember that Madonna got picketed many times. Even the New York Post had their famous cover calling her a whore. Say like, what a whore. That was the New York Post. Now it's like, oh yes. Those are, you know, goddesses. Those are, you know, the queens of the gutter. We gotta stop that. We gotta stop rewarding people whose children are so fucked up. Oh gosh, I'm remembering that they sent me the pictures of my parents for their 50th, I think it was their 50th wedding anniversary. I started remembering a lot of shit. It was beautiful pictures. It was not like, well, it was a professional camera, but I don't think it was a professional, you know, like, they hired somebody. So they took, I mean, they sent me like 5, 6 pictures of them together, you know, 50th anniversary photos, and like, wouldn't you know, my stomach start getting upset. My stomach, I have to throw up. I say like, this is a fucking lie, you know. It's like, it's a beautiful picture, but that's not it. A bitch used to beat me up every day with a belt, with her shoe, with a broomstick, with whatever. Almost every other fucking day. And I know that because I remember myself saying like, oh, today I didn't get beat up. That was for me, that was like my highlight of my childhood. It's like, wow. And I felt so weird, you know, like, you know, sometimes I would break a plate or something, she wouldn't give a fuck. Sometimes, you know, I would just walk in and I don't even remember. She was in a constant state of rage against me. Or, well, I guess it wasn't against me, but because she couldn't control my father's drinking, I guess she said, oh, but I can control this bitch. She got her punching bag. I was the one who stopped her from killing somebody, probably, because all her pent-up energy was like. And one day when I ambushed her, she almost go crazy. Leave the past alone. She could leave the past alone. That's the past. I was like, bitch, that's not the past. That's everyday life for me. My sister's a doctor, and she later told me that she fell into a deep crisis. And for a moment, it was touch and go for her. She never apologized to this day, and I don't want her apology now. I would go like, bitch, here's your apology. I'm past that. It was an obsession for me for like decades. I had that obsession. Bitch is gonna acknowledge what she did to me. Not much of the apology, but I want her to acknowledge what she did to me. Every freaking day. Screaming, always yelling, always about something, always. I always lived with my heart right here. My heart wasn't here, my heart was always here. Always like, I'm still expecting, I don't know, her or somebody else to just you know, come and destroy my life again, you know, my life. All this therapy I had, all these like whatever, and that's why they call it formative years. They call it formative years for a reason. At least those formative years, take care of those babies. If you have to, do what the crackers do when, you know, they rent a womb and they impregnate her, but with 5 eggs. So they have quintuplets. They got quintuplets. Do the same thing. At least the first 12 years of those quintuplets, watch them. I just can't believe there's so many people that are into that shit, for real. They talk about Epstein, Weinstein, and all that shit. It's like, that shit is so pervasive. And all the therapists know it. All the therapists, and it's like they have a pact. Instead of getting together, all the therapists, hey, we gotta make a report. How come all my patients, they was raped when they was babies? Oh no, they have a pact. You don't have to say names. You don't have to, you know, breach confidentiality and nothing. But you gotta speak up. I can tell you, if I go back to, you know, I had so many therapists since 2005. If I go back to all of them, they were like, I say like, you know, just how many of your caseloads that you had over the years they was raped or molested or you know, or who knows. Or they used to watch all these, because these bitches don't even go to the bedroom. They do it right there. All the tricks, turning the tricks, because they've told me that. I used to hook up. Yeah, it was one of those weird hookups where we would spend hours talking. She's just too much, you know. It's like everybody's been like brainwashed into like keeping silent. And yeah, we've seen a lot of the ones that speak up, they get disowned, they get, I get it, but it's not just about speaking up. It's just about like, you know, bitch, where's your baby? Didn't you just had a baby? Oh my God, now I'm getting tired of sitting down. Don't you have children? You know, just asking these questions. Shouldn't your children, like, who are the children with? Oh, they're with my mother. Like, and the mother is a professional bed wench. You know what I mean? I mean, like, we have to ask questions. We must ask questions. You know, who's watching your children? And it's not a joke. It's like, you know, oh yeah, whatever, you know. All my cousins, they left all her children with my aunt. That was another sister of the one I was just talking about. And she used to have like 3 cribs and one of these like corrals, like two corrals and like 3 cribs, baby cribs. And she said, oh, they pay me. But my aunt was morbidly obese. She would fall asleep all the time. But she was good. She had a good eye. Even when she was asleep, she always kept like, you know, because she couldn't lie down in bed because she was so fat. But what about when she got to go to the doctor? What about like, you know, all my cousins was working. Most of them, they didn't even enjoy their children. I mean, tell you the truth, they had 2, 3 jobs. The ones talking about the ones in the south side of Chicago. So, and I know because, you know, I used to go with my aunt. I went, actually every time, you know, that I went to Chicago, I always was visiting my aunt. She always had the crib. She always had all these children in and out. She had one of those babysitting places, basically. But it was all their grandchildren. All her grandchildren. But probably the most dangerous time was when they went back home. Because my cousins, they was always dating. They was always dating. all I heard it was, oh, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. They bring, I mean, I'm not going to say it was hookups, no, but they're beautiful. My cousins are beautiful. So they always have men around. So I mean, like, I think over there things was better. I'm not saying nothing about them, like, I don't know. Now I question everything, I'm walking around and I get these flashbacks about that. Like the mind saying, oh, you remember that? You remember that? Like, whatever. People saying this, people saying that. But the scary part is that they said it like it was like, oh, shit happens. Shit happens. That's the American phrase, shit happens. Nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. Shit happens. No, they make it happen. They make it happen because they're always at work. They're always at work, and when they're not at work, they have to go with the girlfriends. Oh, like all my cousins, they are really big fanatics of Sex in the City. So that right there, I remember that the last time I went to Chicago, my cousin, she got all the DVDs over there. She was never in the house. She's a social worker. I'm talking about the older, the elder, the eldest, the oldest, whatever you say that. She's around my age. She was never home. I know because, the last time I was there, I waited for her. She did not arrive until like 1 in the morning. And she was not even happy to see me. I was like, wow. I was so exhausted, and, I think I had to pay a taxi to go back to where I was staying at. And she was like, whatever. I'm really hoping that this great conjunction that we had on December 21st and this new age of Aquarius bring us the strength, the courage to bring these conversations, to start these conversations. Where are your babies? Where are your babies? They're so fragile. There should be an advertisement on television all the time. You just take a few minutes for these freaking sick perverts. I think it was 3 months old. She was at 3 months when she got raped, and then she got burned with hot water, scalding hot water to cover up the rape. And she remembered that. She said she remembered that. I don't remember shit until I was 6 years old. I don't remember nothing. So God knows what they did to me. I mean, what I can remember, I was older than that. And it was already like, touching me. I mean, but my mom, she was a bad bitch. She was almost in charge of the pharmacy. She knew all the laboratories. She knew all the prescriptions, all the whatever. People was looking for her. She was really good at what she was doing. I get it. But we was in the house. The mind is protecting me. That's why I don't have these memories. I don't even need them anymore. I used to want to remember. I used to want to remember. Okay, I want to remember, before, those 6 years, I want to remember. The reason I found out I don't remember nothing, because one day I remember it's like, those are not my memories. That's what my mom used to talk about. That's what my sister used to talk about me. Used to say, oh, like that time, like whatever, like, that was like, no, I don't remember. They said that's what happened to me. They said that, I don't remember. I don't remember. Like my mom, she said she used to leave like 4 bottles next to the crib when they used to go clubbing. So I would just wake up all terrified by myself in a house. And I will have to, self-medicate with food. By the time I was 15, I was like 280 pounds. I was really, really fat, but all the pictures that burnt in the fire. Otherwise, I don't have proof. But I remember I told my mom, that I remember, I told my mom, I said like, they call me a whale. And she said, well, look at you. And that's all I had. That was food until I discovered sex. I had this sixth sense to know where she hid the food. Always. And where she hid the key. She had it locked up in a cabinet. And I will make copies of the key. I will take it out and run, make copy, and put it back the key over there. And I will fix the food to look like I hadn't taken out.